Hey, welcome back to my channel, Good Job Mom. Today I'm going to talk to you about having to deal with other moms who judge us and how we judge other moms, because you know we are not blameless, honey. I'm not blameless, and I know you're not either. Let's just admit that as moms, we are quick to judge other mothers. And I'm here to just say cut it out. I was reading a devotional on YouVersion, and it's about being a mom and just dealing with motherhood. One of the things that it spoke on was Proverbs 31. Something that stood out to me was a certain part of it, and it said that a Proverbs 31 woman is eager and knows her worth. And I was like, dang, I like that. She's eager to do the work that she needs to get done, and she knows her worth. Y'all. Now, I know a lot of us are eager. I know there's days, obviously, where we're like, those dishes and that laundry and even these kids are going to have to feed and do it themselves, okay? I know it. But for the most part, I know that I'm eager. I wake up, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to get this thing popping in my house. But the know your worth part, yeah, sometimes I know my worth, but I think sometimes, a lot of times, we don't really know our worth. And in this devotional, something else that it said is all the pressures that as mothers have on ourselves and each other. And what it ends up doing is alienating friendships. And I said, dang, you know what? If we could be eager to support one another, and if we could know our worth so that our insecurities are not put off onto another mom, then we could have a bigger, more supportive community. Zuri's up there singing her heart out, child. You hear her? Yes, girl, sing. So after thinking more about the know your worth part and just how we teeter back and forth of really knowing our worth as mothers, as women, it made me realize that not knowing our worth can sometimes lead us to a prideful place. Now, hear me out, because you're like, girl, how can I have any pride, let alone be prideful, if I have no self-worth or see value in myself? But hear me out. I think what happens is that we are so insecure sometimes, and we don't realize our value, which is huge. There's no amount to express our value. But I think that it leads to this insecurity that then turns into us having to prove ourselves. And if we're not trying to prove ourselves, which hello is prideful, then we are talking down or coming down on other moms so that we can make ourselves feel better. And that in and of itself is also prideful. Now think of all of the friendships that we lose out on because we judge or we shut other women out. Something else that came to me was how I remember when I was pregnant and when I first gave birth, and people just trying to give me an overload of information and their opinions of how to mother and tricks and tips that they had, and I would be so annoyed. I'd be like, girl, no one asked you for your opinion. Nobody wants any of that. And I've come to realize that, like, why did I shut that down? Do some mothers that come to me now with some tips and tricks have more experience than I, and I still want to shut it down? Why? Why do I want to shut it down? Why do I not value another mother's perspective or opinion? There's a problem with that. And on the flip side of that, I've also been the mom who's like, hey, I have all of these suggestions and all of these things that can really help you out as a mom. They don't use any of it. And I'm like, listen, I crawled so you could walk. I have had to suffer so that you don't have to suffer. And I realized that both sides are prideful. One, I'm prideful to think that another mother's perspective and experience isn't going to be helpful to me. And it's also prideful to think that my experience is going to be some monumental life change for another mom. If we could find a middle ground and just say, hey, give me your advice. I'm going to consider it. I would love to hear what you have to say. I'm not going to shut you down. And on the flip side of that, we are going to offer advice to other moms. And if they don't use it, they don't use it. We got to get out of the way and realize that we are on a team. This mom life is a club, honey. We're all in the same club. We're all on the same team. We're all going through the same things. We're going through sleepless nights. We're going through feeling like we don't even remember who our real selves are. We're all e-schooling. We're all going nuts. We're all feeling like our partners don't help enough. We're feeling like we can't work without feeling the guilt of not being home. We all feel the guilt of being at home instead of at work. Like we all have an experience that at the core of it is kind of the same. We feel guilt, we feel shame, we feel unworthiness. And so why are we bringing this into our relationships with other moms? What we need to do is come together and say, sis, I see you. We also need to just let women live their life with their own plans and their own decisions. You breastfed, congratulations. You bottle fed, that doesn't make you unworthy. You don't let your kid have any screen time, good job, mom. You let your kid have a little screen time so you don't go insane, good job, mom. Listen, we're all out here mothering and parenting the way that we think we should. And now I want to say, we don't have to co-sign. We don't have to agree with the way that moms parent. But I'm not about to be out here judging another mother. Now, have I fallen into it? Absolutely. I'm gonna keep it real. So I'm not just calling out other moms that are watching this. I'm not just calling y'all out. I'm calling myself out. About all of the community, all of the support, and all of the friendships that we miss out on because we are alienating other women. All of us just want to be seen and heard by each other. God has qualified us. So if he has qualified us, no one else needs to qualify us. So instead of us trying to qualify or unqualify a fellow mom out there, let's encourage, let's uplift, let's love, and let's accept one another. Drop a mama in the comments. Let her know that you see her. Let her know that you love her. Remember, you are not alone. You don't have to be alone. Thank you so much for joining me today. I will see you next week.